Just to kind of set the scene for our discussion, how significant at a macro level is the carbon footprint of the built environment relative to other major sources of carbon emissions?
Building operations and building materials together contribute nearly 40% of global carbon emissions. And to put that in perspective, the GHG emissions from buildings exceeds the emissions footprint of the transportation sector and the industrial sector. Residential, commercial, and industrial buildings are a huge factor when we look at the overall pie of what's contributing to global warming and carbon emissions. And we see this especially, and probably not surprisingly, in cities like Boston, where I am, and in New York City, where you have a high density of buildings, many of them very tall buildings. In these cities, over 70% of carbon emissions come from buildings. So we have to address buildings to address climate change. Buildings are a major contributor. We need to solve this issue as we're going to address climate change. And heating and cooling is probably the biggest and maybe the most challenging component within the building. Lighting is a little more straightforward. A lot of people have done lighting retrofits. Solar panels are, of course, great, and the cost has come down so much that now that's become much more common. The mechanical systems, the central plant, that's the tougher challenge, and that's where we've decided to focus.